Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Spencer with Small Cap Spencer. Going to be creating a video today for you guys. Um, I'm actually creating a whole series called Why You Suck at Trading. I got this idea from a Rocket League content creator. I'm a gamer, so shout out to Sunless Khan. But I got this idea from him, and he used to make videos about why you suck at Rocket League. He would point out, you know, obvious things that you do wrong, and it was a funny way to bluntly expose your mistakes in the game. So I'm going to do that with trading. It's obviously not going to be as entertaining as he is, but I want to address a lot of issues people have when they're trying to become profitable. And I want to do it in a way that kind of calls you out because I feel like that's what we need. We need to be held accountable for our mistakes. Um, I think that's the quickest way to reprogram your mind when you're trying to become profitable. Our mind tells us to do exactly the opposite of what you need to do in order to be profitable. So, with over trading, revenge trading, trying to squeeze out as much profits as possible, trading your P&L, so on, so on. Our mind is filled with fear, greed, all this stuff, and you need to learn how to manage everything. Like I said, our mind is telling us exactly the opposite of what we need to do in order to be profitable. So I'm going to go over a bunch of different topics in trading and try to call you guys out. I hope a lot of the stuff is relatable to you and it kind of gives you like this aha moment where you can say, hey, I do that, let me try to fix it, and then you can come back the next week and work on that specific thing, because you're not going to just wake up one day and be profitable. You need to chip away at your bad habits slowly, and this is why trading takes so long to learn, is because you go into the market with a mind that needs to be reprogrammed. And it's a process, and some people can do it quicker than others. That's doesn't matter how long it takes you to become profitable, but we all go through the same journey. It's just how fast can you learn? How fast can you reprogram your mind and um, get rid of those habits that you begin with. We all begin with the same habits. Um, really, we do. We all begin with over trading, revenge trading, emotional decisions. We all begin with it. So here we are as a collective trying to fix it. And trading feels lonely at times. You feel like you're in this alone, but in reality, every single trader is going through the same journey, going through the same emotions. We're all human. So I'm gonna call you guys out. I'm gonna call myself out, and we're gonna get better. So here we go. First topic I have is you're undercapitalized and you're over expecting. Being undercapitalized is fine. Starting with $1,000 account, $2,000 account, there's nothing wrong with that. You can start with a $500 account. Nothing is wrong with that. What is wrong is you're over expecting how much you can make and how quickly you can make that. I'm gonna show you guys the math behind this because that'll be the real eye opener, but I want to first just discuss the thought process behind this, you know? So we all go into trading, we have a job. Our goal is to get away from that job and create freedom. We all have that same goal. We want to get away from our job. We want to trade and be free. That's universal. And in your job, you might make $200 a day, $300 a day, $400 a day. It doesn't matter. That's how we're looking at it. At our job, we're making two, four, $500 a day. We need to make more than that, or at least that, in order to quit our job. That's our thought process. And that is fundamentally wrong because now you're trading your P&L. We're trying to stay away from trading your P&L. You do not want to look at your P&L when you're trading. You want to look at your percentages. I talked about this in my last recap. You need to understand how percentages work and how compounding works. So if you're trying to make $100 a day, $200 a day, whatever your daily goal is, because you have this number in your head for whatever reason, it's how much you make at your day job or whatever, let's scrap that. You're not here to make any dollar amount. You are here to make a percentage based off your capital, and that percentage will remain the same regardless of your capital. And how you make more money in trading is to get more capital, and you're going to always make the same 5 to 10% a week or whatever it may be. You might be better than me and make more than that. It might still be struggling, but that 5 to 10% a week is all you need to quit your day job. And I'll show you the math behind that right now. So let's go straight and do this. I got ChatGPT up. I'm going to start with the $2,000 starting account because, we have these PDT rules about to change $2,000. I think that's what they're trying to change it to, where you can start trading with $2,000 with no PDT, so you'll be able to day trade. That's a good thing, but for a beginner, it's not so good because honestly, you don't need to take more trades to make more money. But that's gonna be a whole nother video. Let's go into the math behind why you're over expecting based off your capital. So we're just gonna start with a $2,000 account. We're gonna use ChatGPT to do the math for us, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what's going on here. So here we go. Not the best prompt, but it'll know what I'm talking about. All right, here's what 10% weekly compounding looks like, starting with a $2,000 over 12 months, 52 weeks. I'll show monthly checkpoints so it's readable, then summarize the takeaway. 10% weekly growth. Listen, guys, if you have a strategy and you've back tested that strategy, you should be able to make 10% a week. If you're a beginner and you're still losing money, we're going to fix that because it's if you have a strategy, if you don't have a strategy, then this video might not be for you. Go find a strategy. I haven't created that yet, but there's so many content creators out there showing their strategy. I use Warrior Trading, Ross Cameron's strategy. So if you need a strategy, go find a strategy. This is a little bit in front of that. We're talking about people that have a strategy, they've been learning it, and their results are all over the place. They might be making gains one week and then red the next, so on. Anyway, here we go. 10% weekly growth. You know how to trade, but you're stuck in boom and bust. You're making money, you're losing money, you're making money, you're losing money, you're getting nowhere, you might be losing money. But I'm going to try to help you guys here. So let's say we start with $2,000. Week one, I'm sorry, after 4 weeks, so month one, you at $2,928. So in a whole month, you made $900. So weekly, you're making what, $250 a week, and that's what, $50 a day to get there. And when you're making that $50 a day, when you start with the $2,000 account, you're gonna be like, I'm never quitting my day job. $50 isn't enough to quit my day job. I'm never going to get there. I need to make more. I need to trade more and make more. This is wrong. $50 is enough. $100 on a $2,000 account is enough. That's 5%. $200 is 10%. That's what we're going for a week. So you mean, $200 in this 1 month or in this first week is enough. So if you're making $50 a day or $75 a day when you're starting with a $2,000 account, that's all you need. So month one, you're at 29, 28. Month two, week 8, you're at 42.87. Month 3, you're at 69.04. And in these 3 months, you're going to be crawling. Your mind's going to be like, I am not making enough. I am making $50 a day, $100 a day, $150 a day. It's just not enough. How am I ever going to quit my day job or get free from this wage slavery with only making $50, $100 a day? Well, you're not doing the math and you don't understand the math, and that's why you're over trading. This is why you're revenge trading, and so on. So, as you can see, the account keeps growing every month. By month 7, you are above $25,000. You're above the current PDT rule. 7 months goes by quick. If you cannot hold out for 7 months to grow your account, then you are thinking way too short term. If you can't even hold out for 3 months to get up to this $7,000, you are thinking way too short term because you do not understand the math. I'm just going to fast forward here. In a year, you are at $283,000. I guarantee 99% of you do not make that at your day job. So with a $2,000 account with a 10% weekly growth, you can make $250,000. You can quit your day job if you just have the patience and the discipline to do so. So the point of this is you are undercapitalized, which is fine, but you're expecting to make $250, $300 a day in these first 4 or 5 months, and that's not the math. The math isn't there. It's not going to happen unless you're just some amazing trader that can pull 10-15% of the market each day. And if you are that good of a trader, you won't be stuck in this situation because you'll be building your account so quickly. But for the most of us, we are building our account slowly, and 10% a week is what we should be shooting for. Look at this math. This is all you need. As ChatGPT says, the curve is slow early but explosive later. And if you're at $100,000 account, are you gonna be using your full buying power? Are you gonna be taking trades with $100,000, especially if you're trading small caps? No, probably not. I don't know. Who knows? Like, are you gonna be taking 20,000 shares or 30,000 shares? I don't know. That's up to you when you get to that point. Yeah, I wouldn't think twice about it. If I lose 2 to 3% on a trade, if I lose $2,000, $3,000 on a $120,000 account, I'm not sweating that. I'm not sweating that at all. So would I take full buying power? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be trading with 20, 30,000 shares when I get up to this amount, and you guys will witness that because I'm focused on the percentage. I'm not focused on the dollar amount. I'm focused on making my 5 to 10% a trade. I'm going to be losing 2 to 3% a trade. It doesn't matter what the dollar amount is, the percentage is what scales and stays consistent. 10% weekly is aggressive but mathematically clean, requires strict risk control, very high quality setups, minimal drawdowns, psychological discipline. Most traders fail not because the math is wrong, they fail because they break process under pressure once size grows. I will disagree. Most traders fail because their math is wrong. They haven't even done the math, so they don't even know what the math is. They're completely ignorant and clueless on the math. I'm showing you the math here. If you follow the math, this is your expected growth. They fail because they break process under pressure once the size grows. this is understandable. As you take more share size, your winners and losers are going to grow, but your account is growing each and every month. Your buying power is growing slowly. So your position size is growing with your buying power at a slow rate. And that's okay. Maybe month like 8 to 12, yeah, your position size might grow a little quicker than what your psychology allows it to, but you can slow that down by just changing your hotkeys, by changing how much buying power you want to use. So yeah, maybe from 51,000 to 280, are you gonna make a $250,000 in your first year of trading? No. But is it possible? It is if you have the right psychology and you can scale your position size up as your buying power scales. Yeah, that's possible. I'm going to show you guys how it's done. If you're patient enough to watch my videos, I'll show you that it's doable. Um, so yeah, this is it. This is my point is stop trying to trade your P&L. Stop trying to trade. Don't don't put $2,000 in account and think making 50 to $100 in the beginning isn't enough. It is enough. 5% is enough. $100 a day is enough. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you don't even make that 5%. If you make 2 to 3% a day, it doesn't matter. Just you're getting to 10% a week, which if you have 5 trading days and 4 of those days are green and 1 day is red, if you get even 3%, that is 3 times 4, that's 12. And let's say you have one red day, that's 3%. You are at 9% there. You don't need a lot of money to grow an account. You don't need big winners to grow an account. What you need is patience and discipline. And you need risk management. You cannot go deep into drawdown while you're doing this. If you're still having troubles with managing your risk, if you're holding on to losers too long, it's because you don't understand these numbers. You are so fixated on that one trade and how important that one trade is to you, and you're losing sight of the bigger picture, which is this. We cannot go into a deep drawdown when you're building a small account because it messes up the math. You have to understand the math. 2, 3, 4% a day. If you can get 5 to 10%, you're golden. But it's not necessary. What's necessary is those small winners and keeping the losses just as smaller. If you're having more than one red day a week, or maybe more than 2 red days a week, then I think you need to be in the sim. You need to be practicing your strategy. You need to be back testing. You really should be pretty consistent on your setups if you know your strategy well enough. You should be sitting around 60 to 70% win rate if you're picking the best setups. And I'll help you guys with that, but I think this is the foundation of your psychology. Understanding how an account grows, how it starts very slowly, and how much little you need to make. My headset just turned off randomly. Anyway, so yeah, so guys, just understand slow and steady. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Um, get green, get out, come back with more buying power. Keep repeating it. Understand the compounding math behind it, and just let the math do its work. I'll make more videos about why you suck at trading. I'm going to go over a bunch of different topics, but if you enjoy this content, then I want you guys to, you know, give me a like, give me a follow, keep watching what I put out there. I think I can really persuade you in looking at this trading game completely differently than how you do currently, and trying, like I said, to reprogram your mind to think how you need to think in order to be profitable. Because, well, as I mentioned, how you think now is wrong. It's wrong, and it's okay. It's how the mind works. It's not designed to trade. It's designed to survive, and it works completely. It's defective in the beginning. It's just completely wrong, and we're gonna sit here and reprogram that mind and get you guys making some money. So yeah, I'll release another video on another topic in the next few days, and we'll keep this going, and we'll do the trade recaps. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.